Hi guys, it's Mackenzie. Today I was going to do a video for you guys. It is a homeschooling video and it's going to be 10 tips for brand new homeschoolers, people who are just about to dive in this for the very first time, their first year, things that might help them, things that they might need to know. I just finished my first year of homeschooling. It is really hard to homeschool for the very first time and not really know what you're doing. But it's also such a huge blessing, and there's a lot of ways to make things easier, and I was really blessed to have some veteran homeschool moms help me out, and I want to share with you what I have learned in the past year, and hopefully it'll help you guys too. My number one tip is go to a homeschool conference. Around here, homeschool conferences are usually in April to prepare you for the next year, so you'll just have to check out when your homeschool conferences are, but they're all around and they're usually in every major city. So you can go to a homeschool conference and they will have vendors, different curriculums, all kinds of different people there. They usually do classes so you can learn about whatever you need. I've been to several classes on specific curriculums you can use, or classes like how to occupy your preschool kids while you're homeschooling bigger kids. There's all kinds of things you can learn and do, things about laws, everything you need to know. And Homeschool Conference is a great way to get started. And if you have littler kids and you're just planning to homeschool in the future, your oldest child is 5 years old or younger, then you get in for free. So, but even if you don't get in for free, the $40 to $60 to get in is well worth all the heartache of trying to figure out everything on your own. So I definitely recommend a homeschool conference. 2 is make sure you are covered legally. So homeschool laws vary by state, and in my state, for you to complete the compulsory attendance law to say your child has been in school, you have to complete 1,000 hours of homeschooling per year, and you have to log those hours. In other states it's different. Some states require standardized testing. Some states require a certain number of days and not hours. Some states require you to have a portfolio and save their work. My state requires that. Depending on what state you're in, there are different requirements. Another state requires you to register as a private school for your homeschooling and register with the state. So you really need to look into what your state laws are and make sure that you have yourself covered. I just never know when that neighbor is going to see your kids playing outside and call CPS on you and say, hey, these kids aren't in school, and then all of a sudden you have a case on your hands and you have to prove that you've been schooling. So make sure you are doing your job to cover yourself legally. Number 3 I have is to join a support group. This is so crucial. You have got to have support homeschooling. Homeschooling is hard. It's a round-the-clock job, to be honest, and you need support. So many other moms are sending their kids off to school and they're doing a happy dance. You are schooling your child all year long. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you need that support. You need someone to go to. Having a large support group. I am in a couple groups on Facebook that help. Even having moms in the YouTube community that homeschool. Having those other moms that are also homeschooling is going to motivate you. It's going to make you realize that you're not crazy when you feel like you're going crazy. It's going to give you someone to talk to if your curriculum isn't working, or if you're struggling getting your child to do this certain thing. Do you feel like you're not measuring up, or your kid isn't learning the way they should? Having those other people around that have been there, done that, and have some advice is so crucial, having that support group. Number 4 that I would say is to pick a curriculum that has lessons laid out for you. Now this obviously isn't required. You can certainly piece together all your curriculums all by yourself if you want to, but especially for that first year homeschooling, I personally wouldn't recommend it. It is a lifesaver to me to have curriculum that tells me this is lesson 1, this is lesson 2, this is lesson 3. You know what? You don't have to do it exactly like the book says, but to have that laid out for me has made homeschooling so much better for us. First year kindergarten, we did the Horizons phonics and reading. They have 160 lessons laid out. You know exactly what you're supposed to do each lesson. But since Evelyn was younger, as we got throughout the year, we came to some lessons where it was too much for her. It was too long for her and we couldn't do it. all in one day without it being just very stressful. So, okay, no big deal. I can easily say this is lesson 121 and we're going to spend 2 days doing it. We're going to do this on Monday and Tuesday to finish it up, and that's fine. But having those lessons laid out, to know where we are, to know exactly what skills we're trying to accomplish, was definitely a lifesaver and makes things so much easier. And I would highly recommend finding a curriculum that does that for you. And 5, I would say, is have a planner. Now, you don't have to be attached to this planner and it be your pride and joy, but it's good to have a planner, especially if you have multiple kids. But even for the one that I did this year, I have a planner and I write down math, this is what we're doing. Reading, this is what we're doing. Science, this is what we're doing. And I can cross those off as we finish it, and it just makes things easier. But I also recommend definitely using a pencil when you're writing in your lessons. Tip number 6, I would say, is to be flexible with that plan. Be flexible with those lessons and your pace that you go. Like I said, if you see that this is too much for your child, split it into 2 days. You're not on anybody's time. You can do that. If you see that they are doing awesome in it and they need to do more, or they want to do more, certainly let them do more. If they want to do 2 science lessons, my daughter does, if you want to do that, why wouldn't you go ahead and do that, or supplement it with extra reading or extra things to really, if they're that interested in it, to get them in depth into it. All that knowledge is going to benefit them, but also slowing down and making sure they truly understand it before you just push them forward, that is going to benefit them too. And take days off as needed. If it's been hard getting through this week and they're just struggling with a new concept, maybe just take a day off. Okay, it's Thursday, we should be doing school, but you know what? Today we're just gonna go to the park and have some fun, because we all need a break from this, and it'll refresh you and revive you, and then you'll be able to jump back into it, and everyone's gonna do better, and that is okay. You can do that. Tip number 7 that I would say, which doesn't apply to everyone, have a special activity for your little ones to do. If you have little ones that are not school age yet, that don't need to be sitting at the table doing homeschooling with you, have something for them to do. This is going to keep you focused on your homeschooler and also give you peace of mind that the little ones are okay. For us, we usually put the gates up in the living room, and we have boxes of toys that we only use during homeschool time. So they're special toys and the kids love it. So they get to pick one of the special boxes during homeschool time, and that is their only time that they get to play with those special toys. So it's super special for them. Or sometimes we get them involved at the table and we let them all sit there and they can do a lesson, which is basically them just scribbling on a piece of paper, but it gets them involved and it keeps them busy while you are managing your homeschooler. So definitely keep those little ones in mind, because they still have their needs too. And if you have a plan for your little ones, even though they're not schooling, it's going to make your day go so much better. Number 8 would be take advantage of your local library. The library has so much stuff to offer you guys, and everything is free. You can supplement with free books from the library any subject that you're doing, anything you're learning about. You can search for books on it, get books, teach those to your children. You can do that. We did not have a set curriculum for history and science in kindergarten because there was just really no need at that age. Math and reading was our main focus. But we did just find books at the library on whatever we wanted to learn about. You can supplement anything. You can come up with a completely new curriculum that you want to do if there's something you want to learn about. The library is just great, and not just for those. They have extra events and activities for children. A lot of libraries even have homeschool days where they do special things with homeschoolers in the middle of the day. And they also have, for little ones, the story times. Those are great. They're about 45 minutes to an hour long, and it gets those little ones used to structure. And some of you moms are super structured at home on your own, and some aren't. So to have those little ones even do that here and there to get them ready for eventually when they're going to be homeschooling is so great. And to create that love of reading, I really recommend everybody just take advantage of your library. Also, they have lots of programs where you can get free books. Kids can take advantage of that, and they can get all kinds of free books from their library that they actually get to keep and don't have to return. Number 9 would be learn about cheap and free things to do in your area for field trips. Just because you're a homeschooler does not mean that you cannot have field trips, and there are so many things that are free or very, very inexpensive that you can do for field trips for your children. Right down the road from me, we have a nature center that is free. They do events there all the time. A lot of places will have like a Bass Pro Shop that is free. You can go to pet stores and learn about different types of pets. You can go all kinds of places. You can do cheap things like the zoo. That counts for hours if you're in a state that does hours. You can do all kinds of things. So just get involved, find out what your community is doing. Rec centers, they do things all the time. Just find out what opportunities there are for free or very inexpensive things for a field trip and get your kids involved in that. You don't have to be sitting at the table all the time for their homeschooling. Last tip I have for all you new homeschool parents is just to have fun. Really enjoy this time. So many people do not get the privilege and opportunity to be home with their kids and teach them. So enjoy it. If it's a stressful day, be goofy with your kids. Get them laughing again. Don't stress them out. Don't exasperate them with their homeschool work. Make it fun. Figure out their learning style. Just do what's going to make it an enjoyable adventure for your family and really soak it in, because this is precious time with our children. So take advantage of it and have lots of fun. Do field trips, do fun things, do experiments. Just really enjoy that time with your kids. And that is all for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that if you're thinking about homeschooling or if you're a new homeschooler this year, that it helped you a little bit. And let me know if you have any more questions, any more things you want to learn about homeschooling. I will be doing some more videos about homeschooling soon. In the meantime, I have lots of other things coming up as well for you guys. Subscribe if you want to know what else is happening in our lives and in our homeschooling journey. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.